Hey guys, Fonzie with DipYourCar.com, and I have an interesting project to share with you guys today. Now, obviously for years, people have used our peelable products to change the color of their badges and emblems on their vehicle. The most popular way to do it, of course, is to black out those badges and emblems. You take a vehicle that's got chrome badges on it, you black them out, totally changes the look of the vehicle. Much more aggressive, and obviously it's a very popular thing to do. We're going in a different direction today. We are going to color shift the badges and emblems on our DYC Mustang. We've got a kit specifically built for it, definitely a unique look. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Let's jump right in. So now I'll quickly walk you through all the items that are included in our color shifting emblem kit. Now first you get a can of pre-dip spray. This is to make sure you can properly clean all the surfaces that we're going to be dipping today. You also get a microfiber towel, and this is to work with your pre-dip spray. You get a roll of blue painter's tape, and this is to help you mask off around the emblems where we'll be spraying to protect everything from overspray. You get a spudger tool, and this may come in handy later. I'll show you how to use it. You get 2 cans of black Plasti Dip, and of course this is going to be our base before we move on to our color shift. And you get an entire quart of glossy dip pearl top coat that's already infused in whatever color shifting pearl you choose, and there are a lot of them to choose from. Now I chose the bluegill color shift on this project because I think it'll contrast well off the black paint that's on the Mustang right now. You also get a full pre-vol sprayer, and this is what we're going to use to spray the quart of color shifting pearls. Now, I'm not crazy about the pre-vol sprayer for larger surface areas, but for smaller surface areas like emblems, it's perfect. Now, I also have my respirator. If you don't have one, you can buy one from Dip Your Car. I don't care where you get it, as long as you use one for the project. This is everything we're going to use today. Now let's go check out the emblems and see what we'll be spraying. All right, so on the side, you've got these 5.0 badges, and of course we're going to be working on those. Those should be pretty easy. Around the back, we've got this GT area as well as this chrome ring around it. Now what I want to do is leave this GT and the black around it exactly as it is and just color shift the chrome around the outside. I think that'll look good. On this side, of course, we have the 5.0 badge again. And on the front, the only thing we've got to work with here is this Mustang emblem here. And that might look actually pretty interesting in a color shift. So let's move on to the prepping and masking. So first we're going to mask off the 5.0 badges. And if you're not familiar with how Plasti Dip works, you might actually be impressed here because we're not going to be masking around the edges of each number. We're actually going to be masking off a framework a couple edges away from the emblems themselves. And the reason for that is there's a gap, a space between the edges of the emblem and the body of the car. And in most cases, that gap is enough to actually cut the Plasti Dip, so we'll be able to peel off the excess around it and we'll perfectly etch around each one of the numbers. So we're going to take our blue painter's tape and start that framework about 1 inch or 2 away from the emblems. Now this is where we're going to start protecting from overspray and creating that box that we're going to peel. Once you get 1 inch or 2 around, you make sure the edges are flush. Then you start building the tape out. Now, Plasti Dip aerosols don't create overspray the same way that traditional spray paint does. It doesn't atomize as much and it doesn't create as much of a cloud. So it won't have quite as much overspray, but obviously you still don't want overspray on all the different parts of your car. So I usually go about 6 to 10 inches out from where I'm working. Now you can get something that we have called tape and drape, which is going to make this a lot easier. It's actually a plastic tarp with an adhesive on it, and you can just put 1 strip on each side and cover everything. If you want to spend a couple more bucks, that will actually make it go a lot faster and a lot easier. Now before I finish this, let's head over to the back of the car and see what we're going to do there. So same concept back here. What I want to actually spray is this chrome ring right here, but we've got a gap on the inside and a gap on the outside. Those are going to work for me to cut the Plasti Dip. So all I have to do on this one, same thing. Just create that framework around the area that I'm going to be spraying. And as long as I put enough coats and enough product build around the entire inside of the framework, this entire area will peel up for me and cut that edge. Same thing within here. Make sure I get enough coats and enough product build in here so I can easily peel that off as well, and I'll just be left with this having dip on it. Now it's time to clean the emblems before we spray them, and you don't really want to spray the pre-dip directly onto the emblems, because if you leave any moisture and that moisture gets trapped inside or outside the edges of the emblems, that moisture can affect the Plasti Dip's ability to properly adhere. So I just spray it directly onto the microfiber towel and start cleaning each one of the emblems. Now this is where that spudger tool can really come in handy. You actually can take the spudger tool and put the flat side underneath the microfiber where you sprayed the pre-dip, and that can help you really quickly and efficiently clean those hard to reach areas. You want to kind of trace around each one of the emblem sides, each corner, each nook and cranny, to make sure we don't have any dirt, oil, debris, or anything in there. And then once we're fully clean, let it dry for about 10 minutes or so, and then it's time to start putting our first coats down. Now it's time to put our first coat down. The first coat's going to be about 50% coverage. You definitely don't want to go too heavy too fast. And what I like to do when I put these coats on the emblems is pay attention to the fact that there's lots of different angles here. If you always spray from the top down, you're never going to get product on the underside angles. If you only spray from left to right, you're never going to get product on these angles on the side. So what I like to do is go clockwise. My first coat will be just about straight on. My next coat will be from this angle. My next coat will be from this angle. Then I go from underside and on top. That way, by the time I'm done spraying all of my base, which is where you get your peelability from, you've got full coverage all the way around. Now you're going to give it between 10 to 15 minutes to dry between coats, depending on your temperature. You just want to make sure that the entire surface area is completely dry before you move forward. Now every coat after your first 50% or so should be a full wet overlapping coat. All right, guys, the project is complete, and honestly, I think it came out pretty awesome. I mean, if you're looking for a subtle way to make your vehicle stand out and look unique, changing the color of your emblems and badges is an excellent option. It's easy to do. You don't have to spend a ton of time or a ton of money on it, and there's a lot of different colors to choose from. I mean, we have everything from traditional blacking them out to metallic grays, all the way up to, as you've seen today, color shifting, and it definitely makes your car stand out. I don't know anybody else in the world who has color shifting emblems. If you want to change the color of your emblems, super simple. Click up here. It'll bring you to our emblem kits. As you've seen today, they include everything you need to get the job done, but if you need any help at all, chat with us directly on DipYourCar.com, call in during business hours, or you can go to dycuniversity.com. There's a ton of stuff there to learn and explore. Let's go check out the car. It's Fonzie. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.